Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, guys, we are going to talk about the dangers of self-pity. I run into it a lot, and yes, you may have a lot of reasons to feel this way, after going through traumatic experiences and typically abuse. And especially after narcissistic abuse, it's very easy to fall into this pit of self-pity, right? Because we're already feeling defeated, we're already feeling bamboozled, we're already probably feeling crushed with our self-confidence and our self-esteem, and it just opens the door for other culprits to come into our life to pull us down that much further. And this is what we want to intercept here. For those of you who are struggling with this self-pity, and maybe you don't even realize that you are struggling with this self-pity, but we're going to talk about it here in this video and the dangers of that. Do you have a chip on your shoulder? Have those negative experiences just left a stench around you, an energy around you that is very defeated, very negative? It actually ends up being very draining and conflicting. It's robbing you of your joy. It's robbing you from your ability to be present in the now. It's actually very self-destructive. These are the residuals of experiencing such a dark energy and then not having the proper tools to unpack this and to move past it in your life. Okay, so it basically makes you a self-inflicted victim at this point, because self-pity is the self, you pitying yourself, okay? And it's actually makes you very self-absorbed in that moment. And you're like, I've never been a self-absorbed person. I've never been selfish. I've just been selfless in life. But here you are with the self-pity, all right? Because you're self-absorbed over your unhappiness. That's what the self-pity makes you, self-absorbed over your unhappiness. And you're building a wall with self-pity's partner, which is failure. You feel like, I failed in this area, or, you didn't feel like you won, of course. And now all of your troubles, you're partnering up with failure here, and you're building a very thick wall with the self-pity. All right, it's counterproductive, guys. It justifies negativity or keeping negative energy in your life, and it definitely puts you in a victim mentality. All right, and if we're in a victim mentality, we're not going to believe that we have the power and the control over the things that we do. We're not going to see where we have options and possibilities. We're just going to feel lack and limited. We're going to, that energy just projects over all areas of our life. And, it'll be noticeable in how you interact with the world around you, or don't interact with the world around you, the opportunities you take or the opportunities you do not take. All right. And your reality then in victim mentality becomes distorted. All right. And then all you can see, and I call this tunnel vision, are the things that aren't going right. So now we've lost sight with gratitude and the things that we should be thankful for in our lives. All right. So we definitely want to be increasing our emotional maturity. And I also want to point out something else with the self-pity, and that is that a lot of times we're taking ourselves too serious. And I know that some of you are like, this is my life. I should be taking it serious, Lakia. It's my life. And yes, life should be taken serious to a certain degree, but we're talking about isolated incidences and experiences that we are overkilling, basically. Okay, you went through it. Maybe you made a poor decision. You should have went right and you went left. And you're dragging this out instead of just saying, okay, this is a learning experience. I did the best that I could at the time. Or maybe you felt like I didn't even do my best. Okay, well, I know that I'm going to give a better effort for myself moving forward, or I'm going to take my lessons. But there's no sense in beating a dead horse, right? There's no sense. So that's what I mean by taking yourself too seriously. All right, guys. Also, the self-pity is also going to be an indication of someone who is past focused, um, or past oriented. You know, you're basically living in the past, guys. All right. So what good does that do you if you're not just simply taking what you need and leaving the rest? Because we can't change the past, can we? We can't. All we have is right now in the present. And we can take our lessons with us. Yes, we can. But if we're reliving it, and especially if it was a trauma, you know, it's striking our brain to recall the hurt and the pain every time as well. And that may be striking your energy too, you'll find. I mean, as we find healing, that can be minimized, but obsessing over it, replaying it in our mind, it doesn't help us in the meanwhile when we're trying to move towards our healing. All right. And of course, that self-pity, it opens up to other culprits like depression, and of course, the low self-esteem, feeling unworthy, and then craving sympathy from people. When we crave sympathy, we want someone to feel sorry for us, and that's negative in itself, okay? When it comes to the self-pity. I mean, yes, people can have sympathy during bereavement and we lost a family member, and, you know, they're sending you the sympathy cards, or, you know, they have empathy for that situation as well. But as far as recruiting people to, you know, validate, yeah, that was messed up, you know, it only allows you to go down that rabbit hole more. You know, it's only so many times that they could tell you, yeah, that was really messed up. I'm sorry that you went through that. But, you know, we could be using people as culprits to actually help us stay in that energy. And them validating it is feeding into our own self-pity at that point. And honestly, you know, when we're heavy in self-pity, this isn't going to sound nice, but people will begin to see you as somewhat pathetic at that point. It's like, look, all right, I understand that you went through this misfortune, and I'm, you know, it wasn't kind, you know, but you don't have to stay there and dwell there, and it becomes a greater misfortune, and it gives it more energy to fester and harm your life in a now and a present. So it makes you look pathetic that, you know, you're staying in that energy, and this is how you're going to be projecting yourself. And then this is how things still don't seem to be going your way because you're still in that energy, guys. All right. But we need you to begin to take control, because self-pity is saying, you know, like, someone hurt me, our life is against me, or this group, this organization, this job, this employer, these people harmed me and hurt me, these offenses, like, poor me, woe is me. And yes, it's true that people do betray others. People, places, and things can be betrayed, and someone can stab you in the back. You can experience abuse and violence and all types of things. But what good is it going to do you to wallow and fester in that type of energy for a prolonged period? I mean, we all feel hurt initially, of course. Now it's time to pick ourselves up, detach from how they treated me versus what my worth is, and to start being optimistic and see your potential. And you know what? At least I'm out of that situation. Now I can heal and move forward with my life, you know, and it's okay to face your feelings, but not face them to wallow in them, but face them to get to the root of them. Like, okay, this is how I'm feeling now. What is that stemming from? Or is it stemming from a perception or a negative story that I'm telling myself? What is contributing to that? And how can I intercept this so that it doesn't spiral? So we're intercepting our spirals now so that we're not staying in this self-pity. Okay. And yes, let's question our perceptions, because once we get into victim mentality, and like I said, your reality becomes distorted. And I'm not trying to sit here and say you don't remember what really happened and stuff, but question your perceptions of your environment right now. You know, did it make you hyper vigilant? Did it make you, like, you know, I've seen this play out where maybe someone got robbed by a stranger, and now it's like every time someone's looking at them, they're like seeing more than it was to see there. You know, someone glanced at you, didn't mean they're about to go do what the other person did. You see what I'm saying here? Like, when we don't get that healing from the trauma, and how that can distort our reality, you know? So the next time a guy takes you out and he's being nice, oh, that's a love bomb for sure. No, we don't have to be hasty to see that. You know, if we're not prematurely attaching and so easily impressed, whether they're trying to love bomb you or not, it's not going to work. You're able to stay objective here and say, oh, okay, well, he seems to have chivalry. He seems to be really nice. And, you know, he's being a gentleman right now. Let's see if that continues. Let's see, you know, if you have healthy boundaries, if you have healthy healing inside of you, then you'll be able to deal with your external environment without being hypervigilant. And then we can be in gratitude, like, yeah, I deserve to have flowers bought to me. I deserve to have a beautiful date. You know, you feel worthy of these things instead of questioning them as having to automatically be something negative and to set you up for something that's less than or hurtful. Okay. And the other thing, like I said, is self-absorption, or being very self-absorbed. When we're talking about this self-pity, help others. And you're like, help others? I'm a wreck right now. But I'm sure there is still something that you can do to help others. You know, it helps relieve that self-absorption, you know. It helps to relieve you from just being self-focused on my traumas and da-da-da-da. It helps relieve some of that, guys, all right? And then get into the act of not complaining, you know, not being a complainer. But you know what? If you find yourself complaining, be like, you know what? I'm going to find solutions rather than complain, guys, all right? So yeah, so I definitely wanted to make that point. So we're just going to increase our emotional maturities and know that it's not the end of the world, all right? So I hope that this video is helping someone understand the dangers of self-pity here. All right. If this video resonates with you, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't done so, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Over 600 videos here to help you increase your emotional maturity or your emotional intelligence, help you learn about psychology, toxic relationships, shadow work with yourself, and especially the relationship with yourself. All right. Take what you can to help you on your journey. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me, you can visit my site, lakiacrawford.com, and schedule your appointment with me. I do voice calls, guys. I do Skypes and FaceTimes and WhatsApps, and I've dealt with people from all kinds of countries and time zones. If you want an appointment time with me that is not listed on my website, just email Coach Lakia and we'll work something out. All right. While you're on my website, you can check out my books. They are incredibly therapeutic and healing and full of pearls of wisdom. If you love my channel, you're going to love that content as well. You can order signed copies of my books from my website. And you can also find my books on Amazon.com and Barnes & Nobles. You can get the ebook and a hard copy. I also have a monthly Patreon for those of you who want to support the work that I do here on the channel. And thank you for all the people that do support. It's a great way to not only support the channel, but get some great perks for doing so. All right, and then while you're on the website, you can take a look at the No Narc merchandise, cute matching caps and hats, coffee mugs, bumper stickers, all these things to make your statement against narcissistic abuse and have fun with your fashion. With all of that being said, guys, I do have a free support group over on Facebook. The link is below in the description. Just inbox me and let me know that you're a survivor. All right. All right. Yeah, so it's gonna be all right. Nobody is perfect, you know. Often we are the hardest on ourselves, you know, and we don't allow ourselves to have any imperfections. But, you know, guess what? There aren't any perfect human beings, and there never will be one. All right. So let's move out of the energy of beating ourselves up and just saying, you know what? I'm gonna pick myself up instead of beat myself up. How about that? Yeah, that's better. All right, guys. So thank you for all the love and support that you show the channel. And what do I say at the end of all of my videos? Never give up on yourself. Continue to do the work. And until next time, please take care.